Today's Lenten meditation portion is from the book of Mark 11, verses 1 to 11. Today is known as Palm Sunday, and on it we take time to remember Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem to the shouts of Hosanna, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." It is called the triumphal entry of Jesus because it was in this trip to Jerusalem that he destroyed the power of sin and death and dealt the crushing blow to Satan through his death, burial, and resurrection from the dead. Hosanna in Hebrew is a term that means save now. Literally, it is when a person or a group experiences intense emotion and cries out for immediate help or salvation. Some of the key actions, attributes, and significance from this portion. Jesus sent disciples to get the colt. Throughout the book of Mark, we have been learning some of the ways which Jesus trained his disciples. One thing that we notice is that he always delegated responsibilities to them. He did not do everything on his own, even though there are many things that he could have done better, such as preaching. Instead, he gave them tasks so that they could be involved. This helped them to learn that following Jesus is not a passive job of sitting and listening and watching Jesus all the time. It is instead an active job which requires serving by doing. If you are looking to follow Jesus and be his disciple, a follower of Christ, always seek ways to help others. Jesus demonstrates his omniscience. Jesus wasn't just a good at guessing. This is very specific and very clear prophecy with many details. All of them came true just like he said. He was not telling them to steal the colt or even borrow without permission. He knew that the owner would ask what was going on and the disciples could then get permission, and this is in fact what happened. The owner of the colt did not resist offering help or hold back. He offered what he had with an open hand. This is what God expects from us as his stewards. Whatever you have has been given to you to manage for God's glory, not for your own ambitions. Significance of the colt. While Jesus entered as a king, he was not entering as a normal king. What do you think a typical king would ride? He would probably ride a powerful war horse. Jesus instead chose to ride on a donkey, hardly the appropriate steed for a conquering king, and yet the donkey portrays meekness and humility. Jesus wasn't coming to conquer but to offer peace. Even if in this most triumphal moment we see clearly Jesus' humility. A king's welcome. The people spread their coats and leafy branches freshly cut on the road. This is not a typical way to welcome someone. People were putting their clothes on the dirt for a donkey carrying Jesus to ride over. Why? This was the way to show their respect of and submission to Jesus. Their enthusiasm brimmed over as the joy and excitement of the moment infected the crowds spontaneously. In conclusion, though Jesus received a king's welcome, can we stand before a hostile culture and society? Jesus Christ is our stronghold. Only through God's stirring, renewing, and reviving of our hearts will we see our land restored, our families healed, and our churches thriving. Let us earnestly look for an opportunity to help others and also begin to cry out to God for salvation for ourselves, our families, our friends, and our country.